Hi guys, I am going to do Abdul Kalam voice until 1 hour and I am going to try a world record doing Abdul Kalam voice as a mimicry for 1 hour. Okay, let's get into the video.
When there is a righteousness in the harmony, when there is a righteousness in the heart, there will be harmony in the character. When there is a harmony in the character, order in the nation. When there is a order in the nation, peace in this world. And my dear children, what is this no? No is the next opportunity, and fail is the first attempt in the learning. Today I'm Indian. I'm Indian delighted. Today I'm going to tell about knowledge. What is this knowledge? Knowledge means righteousness, willpower. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And I have three visions for India. In 3000 years of our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us, captured our lands, conquered our minds from Alexander onwards. The Greeks, the Turks, the Mughals, the Portuguese, the British, the French, the Dutch, all of the above came and looted us, took over what was ours. Yet, we have not done this to any other nation. We have not conquered anyone. We have not grabbed their land, their culture, their history, and tried to enforce our way to life of on them. Why? Because we respect the freedom of others. This is why first vision is that of freedom. I believe that India got its first vision of this in 1857 when we started the World War of Independence. It is the freedom, but we must protect the nurture and build on. If we are not free, no one will respect us. My second vision for India development, for 50 years we have a developing nation. Each time we see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among the top 5 nations of the world in terms of GDP. We have a 10% growth rate in most areas. Our poverty levels are falling. Our achievements are being globally recognized today. Yet, we lack the self-confidence to see ourselves as a developed nation. Self-reliant, self-assured, isn't that correct? Incorrect. And I have third vision. India must stand up to the world, because I believe that unless India stand up to the world, no one will respect us. Only strength respect strength. We must be strong not only as a military power, but also an economic power. Both must go hand in hand. My good fortune was to have worked with three great minds. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai of the Department of Space, Professor Satish Dhawan, who succeeded him, and Dr. Brown. Prakash, father of nuclear material. I was lucky to have worked with all three of them closely and consider this the great opportunity of my life. I see 4 milestones in my career. 20 years I spent in ISRO, I was given the opportunity to be the project director for India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, the one that launched Rohini. These years played a very important role in my life of science. After my ISRO years, I joined DRDO and got a chance to be the part of India's guide missile program. It was my second bliss when Agni met its mission requirements in 1994. The Department of Atomic Energy and DRDO had this tremendous partnership in the recent nuclear tests. On my level and 13, this was the third bliss. The joy of participating with my team in these nuclear tests and proving to the world that India can make it, that we are no longer a developing nation but one of them. It made me feel very proud as an Indian. The fact that we had now developed for Agni and a re-entry structure for which we have developed the nation new material, a very light material called carbon. One day an orthopedic surgeon from Nizam Institute of Medical Science visited my laboratory. They lifted the material and found it so light that he took me to his hospital and showed me his patients. There were these little girls and boys with heavy metallic calipers, over 3 kg each, dragging their feet around. He said to me, "Please remove the pain of my patients." In 3 weeks, we made this flow reaction orthosis 300-gram calipers and took them to orthopedic center. The children didn't believe their eyes from dragging around a 3 kg load on their legs. They could now move around. Their parents had tears in their eyes. That was my fourth bliss. Why is the media here so negative? Why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strengths, our achievements? We are such a great nation. We have so many amazing success stories, but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? We are the first in milk production. We are number 1 in remote sensing satellites. We are second largest producer of wheat. We are second largest producer of rice. Look at Dr. Sudarshan. He has transferred the tribal village into a self-sustaining, self-driving unit. There are millions of such achievements, but our media is only obsessed with bad news and failures and disasters. I was in Tel Aviv once. I was reading the Israel newspaper. It was the day after a lot of attacks and bomb raids and deaths had taken place. The Hamas had struck, but the front page of newspaper had the picture of Jewish gentleman who in 5 years had transformed his desert land and orchard and a granary. It was his inspiring picture that everyone woke up to the gory details of killings, bombardments, deaths were inside in the newspaper, buried among other news. In India, we only read about death, sickness, terrorism, crime. Why are we so negative? Another question. Why are we as a nation so obsessed with foreign things? We want foreign TVs, we want foreign shirts, we want foreign technology. But this obsession with everything imported. Do we not realize the self-respect comes with self-reliance? I was in Hyderabad giving this lecture when a 14-year-old girl asked me my autograph. I asked her what her goal in life is. She replied, I want to live in a developed India for her. You and I will have to build this developed India. You must proclaim India not only underdeveloped nation, it is a highly developed nation. Do you have 10 minutes? Allow me to come back with a vengeance. Got 10 minutes for your country? If yes, then read. Otherwise, choice is yours. You have that our government insufficient, inefficient. You say that our laws are too old. You say that municipality does not pick up the garbage. You say that the phones doesn't work. The railways are a joke. The airline is the first in the world. Mails never reach their destinations. You say that our country has been fed to the dogs and it is the absolute pits. You say and say. What do you do about it? Take a person on his way to Singapore. Give him a name, yours. Give him a face, yours. You walk out of the airport and you are at your international best. In Singapore, in Singapore, you don't throw cigarette butts on the road or eat in the stores. You are as proud of their underground links as they are. You pay $5, approximately 60 rupees, to drive through Orchard Road, equivalent of Mahim Keshav of Pedder Road. Between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., you come back to the parking lot to punch your parking ticket. If you have overstayed in a restaurant or a shopping mall, irrespective of your status, and identify. In a Singapore, you don't say anything, do you? You wouldn't dare to eat in public during Ramadan. In Dubai, you would not dare to go out without your head covered in Jeddah. You would not dare to buy any employee of the telephone exchange in London at 10 pounds a month to see to it that my STD and IST calls are billed to someone else. You would not dare to speed beyond 55 mph, 88 km per hour in Washington, and then tell the traffic cop, Janta hai sala mein kon hun? Do you know who am I? I'm so and so son. Take your 20 bucks and get lost. You wouldn't chunk any element, coconut, shell anywhere other than the garbage pile on the beaches in the Australia and New Zealand. When don't you speed porn on the streets of Tokyo? When don't you examination jockeys or buy fake certificates in Boston? You are still talking to of the same you. You who can respect and conform to a foreign system in other countries but cannot in your country. You who will throw papers and cigarettes on the road that moment you touch Indian ground. If you can be an involved and appreciative citizen in an alien country, why cannot you be the same here in the India? Once in an interview, the famous ex-municipal commissioner of Bombay, Mr. Tinaikar, had a point to make. Rich people dogs or walked on the streets to leave their affluent droppings all over the place. Yet, and then the same people turn around to criticize and blame the authorities for insufficiency and dirty payments. What do they expect the officer to do? Go down with broom every time the dog feels the pressure in his balls. In America, every dog owner has to clean up after his pet has done the job. Same in Japan. Will the Indian citizen do that here? Is right. We go to the polls to choose a government after that forfeit all responsibilities. We sit back wanting to be pampered and expect the government to do everything for us with our contribution. So, who's going to change the system? What does the system consist of? Very conveniently for us, it consists of our neighbors, other households, other cities or communities, and the government, but definitely not me and you. When it comes to us actually making a positive contribution to the system, we lock ourselves along with our families into a safe cocoon and look into the distance at countries far away and wait for a mistake. Clean to come along, work miracles for us with a majestic sweep of his hand, or we leave the country and run away like lazy cowards, haunted by our fears. We run to America to bask in their glory and praise their system. When New York becomes insecure, we run to England. When England experiences unemployment, we take the next flight out to the Gulf. When the Gulf is war struck, we demand to rescue and brought home by the Indian government. Everybody is out to abuse and rape the country. Nobody thinks of feeding the system. Our co-science is mortgaged to money. Dear Indians, the article is highly thought inductive, call for a great deal of introspection and pricks one's co-science too. I am echoing Jeff Kennett's words to his fellow Americans to relate to Indians as what we can do for India and do what has to be done to make India what America and other Western countries are today. Let's do what India needs from us. Dr. Apj Abdul Kalam is a renowned nuclear scientist. Can you find out the more about this involvement in the bringing India into the nuclear age? The student can easily remember the words and tone of me in English. The speech is written in such a manner that every student can have each word at the tip of their tongue. It is recommended that students can revise their lines one by one by writing after they have done practicing. India has been showing a steep and stable GDP growth rate, which has impressed investors around the world. However, due to countries' inability to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, the people living in rural areas are still suffering from poverty. Undoubtedly, This is a huge economic crisis that must be addressed immediately. There are a lot of diverse perspectives on the issue. Nobel Prize winner and reputed economist Amartya Sen has suggested that the government should invest in poverty aid programs. Many economists should invest in poverty aid programs. Many economists also say that the government should work towards income generation by increasing employment opportunities. Apart from that, people living in small villages and rural areas should be consoled and encouraged to save and invest their money properly. Education. What are the educations? Illiteracy. Illiteracy is the biggest reason behind the poverty in India. Illiterate people living in rural areas, villages, and small towns are the most vulnerable to the unemployment. More than 51% of rural population earns from casual labors. A huge chunk of population works on farms and makes a living. Education is necessary to enhance their farm productivity and overall income. Educated people can also find new jobs which can help them overcome poverty. Girl child education is also important for the society. Educated girl can grow into skilled works and get well paid jobs. Working women can earn and support families, thus giving their kids a better standard of living. Investment and infrastructure. India's poverty crisis also arises from the dearth of the basic infrastructure like schools, hospitals, toilets, etc. In non-polluting it options, the government must look to invest in the infrastructure of the country, which can go a long way and help build an environment suitable for enterprises, development, and income generation. Skill development. What are the skill development we all need? Today, most of the industries seek skilled laborers and workers. The government must introduce new programs for people to earn basic skills that can help them find jobs. Development of vocational and technical skill is also very important to eradicate poverty from the country. These socio-economic steps must be taken to improve the financial statements of millions of households across the country. India's children suffer the most due to poverty crisis. The countries to affect thousands of small towns and villages. The future is often compromised due to lack of basic facilities and infrastructure for education and development. Save the Children has become working very hard to produce education to the unprivileged children of the country. The NGO has been implementing long term. This will not only help the country as a whole, but will also give you a lot of happiness and satisfaction. The government of India is committed zero tolerance against corruption and has taken several measures to combat corruption and improve probity. Systematic improvements and reforms to provide transparent citizen friendship service and reduce corruption. An online probity portal operation since 2017, under which various ministers, departments, sectors, banks, etc., and providing funds to various states government for establishing helpline in order to facilitate obtain of the informed by the RTI applicants. Funds are also provided each year to various states administrative training institute by the government to generate awareness among the citizens through measures like distance learning programs and online certificate course in regional languages. The information was provided by the Union Minister of State. Dr. Jitendra Singh is written the grievance public region. Thank you. Still, I have 10 minutes remaining. Okay, let's continue. As recognized by Article 5 of UNCAC Core principle associated with the prevention of corruption in the public sector are the rule of law, proper management of public affairs and public property, integrity, transparency, and accountability. In Article 7 and 8, UNCAC requires states to put in place specific measures that ensures adherence with their principles, including adopting merit-based system for the recruitment and promotion of civil servants. Okay, other modules of E4J University module series on anti-corruption also addresses corruption prevention. In particular, module 12 discuss UNCAC. The camera is become dark because I am doing the video for the first 1 hour. I think so, 52 minutes. So the phone has eaten very much. And then I am also continuing the challenge to make a world record. Okay, let's continue. Corruption prevention mechanisms often start with rules that prohibit certain types of conduct. Rules include legal prohibits against. Today, no. What do you mean by no? No is the next opportunity. And failure is the first steps in the success. How to? And I'm going to talk about how to eradicate corruption. You should do. Okay. How to eradicate corruption? To eradicate corruption, it's very easy. You are the 600 million youths can eradicate corruption. How to become great? We have a we have to have a great vision. To become success, we have a great vision. We have to have a great vision. And we have to respect the elders. So it's 6 minutes remaining. I'm going to talk about generally. If you think it's like Abdul Kalam voice, please like the video, share as maximum, comment how was the video, and it is very nice time to meet you guys. Okay, it's still 6 minutes remaining. I'm going to talk anything. Don't worry, it's not gonna be bored. I am the 23rd fellow and I was rejected. And later I became the President of India and I became the Director of the ISRO. And I learned to flew in the jet. Today the youths are not accepting the failures. Suicide is not the only solution. You should not do suicide. What do you mean by love? Love is from getting from mother. It is love. It is 4 minutes remaining. We have to do a good job. And finally, we are at the 1 minute 4 minutes remaining. And hello guys, this is the challenge of making a world record 1 hour Abdul Kalam voice video. If you like this video, please share and comment and subscribe. And thank you for this wonderful opportunity and Jai Hind. மக்களுக்காக வேலை செய்யும் இந்த பிரதமரே வேலைக்காரன் என்று தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். It's 10:11, 10:10, 10:9, 10:8, 10:7, 10:6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 35, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and Jai Hind.